that
All
feeling
right,
you're just stuck? Stuck in a job you can't stand, but for some reason, you just haven't left. Well, it usually comes down to these subtle but really powerful habits that, kind of build a cage around us without us even realizing it. So let's dive in and break down exactly what those habits are that keep people trapped.
It all starts right here, with this feeling. You know the one, that knot in your stomach on a Sunday night, the dread that hits you on Monday morning? Waking up angry isn't just a bad mood, it's a symptom. It's a huge red flag that your professional life is just completely at odds with who you are. And yeah, it's super common, but let's be real, it is not a normal or healthy way to live. This feeling, this is our starting point for understanding the trap.
So, how does this trap actually show up in the real world? Well, a lot of the time, the first signs are the things you aren't doing. It's kind of like a garden you just stopped tending to. Let's take a look at the actual, tangible evidence that tells you your career might be on autopilot.
Okay, I just love how blunt this is. An out-of-date resume is, honestly, the #1 sign that you're not an active participant in your own career. It basically screams that you've just accepted where you are as permanent. Think about it. That document should be alive, growing as you gain new skills. If it's just sitting there collecting digital dust, your career ambitions probably are too.
Oof, this one is huge. The source material I was digging into had a really simple test. Have you added any new, meaningful skills in the last 2 years? Because industries, tech, business methods, they all change at lightning speed. And if you're just standing still, you're not actually standing still. You are actively falling behind. This isn't about just grabbing certificates. It's about staying in the game.
And here we have the great disconnect. Complaining, it feels like you're doing something about the problem, right? But it's a total counterfeit for action. You're just venting all this energy without actually pointing it toward a solution. That daily gripe session with your coworkers, it might feel good, but all it really does is reinforce this feeling that you're all stuck together. The bottom line is, dissatisfaction without application, that's just a hobby.
Okay, so we've looked at the signs of inaction. Now, let's get into the why. This is where it gets really interesting, because we are absolute masters at justifying why we don't do things. We tell ourselves these perfectly logical sounding stories for why we stay put. But so often, those reasons aren't supporting us. They're actually the bars of a cage that we've built for ourselves.
This slide just lays out the golden handcuffs so perfectly. We hang on to this idea of job stability, but really, in today's world, that's mostly an illusion. One bad quarter, one restructuring, and poof, it's gone. We talk about loyalty to the company, but a company is a business, not your family. It'll do what's best for its bottom line. And those amazing benefits? Yeah, they're great, but they're also a very powerful tool designed to make leaving feel way too risky, way too expensive.
And all of that brings us to this really powerful psychological idea, the known hell. It's this concept that we will almost always choose a familiar, guaranteed misery over an unknown future that, only might be better. You already know how to survive your current bad job. You know the players, the politics, the awful boss. A new job? That's a whole world of what-ifs. And that fear can be absolutely paralyzing. It'll keep you right where you are, even when you know it's bad for you.
So we've got the inaction, we've got the justifications, but there's another piece to this whole puzzle, the structure of your workday itself. The very rhythm of the job you hate is often perfectly engineered to drain you of the exact energy you would need to find a new one.
So before we break this down, just take a second, really think about it. If you had to draw a pie chart of your day yesterday, what would the slices look like? How much of it was actual important work, and how much of it was just other stuff?
I'm guessing it looks something like this, right? This is what some call a day with zero deep work. Your time just gets shattered into a million little pieces. You're constantly reacting to emails, getting dragged into meetings that are just about planning other meetings, dealing with interruptions. So at the end of the day, you feel totally drained. But when you think back, you can't point to a single big thing you actually accomplished. It leaves you exhausted, but with zero satisfaction.
And this exhaustion, it's manufactured by a daily cycle. It kicks off the second you wake up and grab your phone, which immediately puts your brain into reactive mode. Then you work right through lunch, so you never get a mental reset. And it ends with you answering emails at 10 p.m., basically training everyone around you that you are always on. By the time you actually have a free moment to, look for a new job, you have absolutely nothing left in the tank. It's a perfect trap.
All right, let's peel back the final layer. This might be the deepest part of the trap, because it's not about your office or your boss, it's about what's happening inside your own head. It's the whole mental game of blame that stops you from taking control.
Welcome to the blame game. It is so easy to point fingers outward. Oh, the economy is just too bad. But people are getting hired every single day. I'm too old for a change, or I'm too young, no one will take me seriously. The truth is, right now is the perfect age to start. My boss is just a nightmare. Yeah, probably. But there are millions of bad bosses out there. They aren't your jailer. You can choose to leave.
And this chart, it really says it all, doesn't it? This is the ultimate truth about excuses. They might make you feel better for a second. They might help you justify staying put. But when it comes to actually changing your situation, their effectiveness is zero. A flat zero. They're nothing more than a comforting dead end.
So, after we've looked at the neglect, the justifications, the daily energy drain, and all the excuses, everything just boils down to one simple, unavoidable thing: It all comes down to a choice.
So often, we disguise our inaction as some kind of grand strategy. We tell ourselves we're just waiting for that perfect time to finally make a move, a time that somehow never seems to show up. Waiting for that next bonus check, which is always followed by another reason to wait for the next one. Or maybe the most passive of all, just waiting to get fired, hoping someone else will make the decision for you. Look, these aren't strategies. They're just different forms of procrastination.
But that wait, it doesn't have to go on forever. Waiting is a choice. You can decide right now, today, that the waiting period is officially over, that the right time isn't someday in the future. It's now.
And that's really what this is all about. After you strip away all the habits, all the reasons, and all the excuses, the final truth is this: nobody is holding you in that job you hate. The cage you feel like you're in, there's no lock on it. The power to stay, and more importantly, the power to leave, has been with you the entire time. The only real question is, what are you going to do with it?